In-depth. Investigative. This is KXAN News at 10.
A police officer shoots and kills a man in central Austin today, 8 hours after a bank robbery in the same area.
The big question tonight, were the robbery and shooting related? The robber hit the Benchmark Bank at 35th and Kirby Lane at 8:15 this morning. Police say a suspicious man who was not the robber was shot by a detective under the Shoal Creek Bridge at about 4:15 this afternoon. KXAN's David Scott has the latest on what police are saying.
The bank robber was big and tall and white. He got away. 8 hours later, around 4 p.m., an African-American man tried to get into the locked bank where a detective was inside following up on the robbery. A bank manager went out to speak with him.
In speaking with him, the individual identified himself in a manner in which the bank manager recognized was not an accurate identification. The bank manager went back into the bank and identified to the detective that she believed there was some suspicious activity going on with this individual.
The detective went outside to talk with the man, but that conversation only lasted a few minutes.
The individual, for unknown reasons, got up and took off running. A foot chase ensued, at which point the detective caught up with the subject underneath the bridge here on Shoal Creek.
A physical struggle along the creek led to the detective pulling his weapon and shooting the man dead. APD will not say what prompted him to feel the need for lethal force, nor will they say if the deceased suspect was armed. What they will say is this.
This will not be the individual that robbed the bank this morning, that we understand at this point.
So who was he? Why did he run? Was he connected in some way with the morning bandit? The investigation of the robbery, aided by the FBI, goes on. The investigation into the shooting will go on too.
That was David Scott reporting. Streets around the area were tied off all day long. Now, there's no indication that anyone at the Seton Medical Center that's nearby there or the nearby doctor's offices were in any danger during this event today. Austin police saying they will have no more comment on this case or cases until Monday. We'll learn more then. And by the way, for that original bank robbery suspect, he's still on the run tonight. So if you have any information about it, call police. Well, we wanted to give you some perspective now on how often Austin police are forced to fire their weapons. Our records show APD has been involved in 6 officer-involved shootings so far this year. That compares to 4 in all of last year, 5 in all of 2011, and 1 in 2010. 3 of the shootings from this year were deadly. 2 of them led to criticism of the Austin Police Department. In April, APD officers shot and killed Herbert Babolet after he pointed a gun at them. But family members say he suffered from mental illness and had been off medication for several days. Then in March, 70-year-old John Schaefer was shot and killed by an officer outside his Austin duplex. Schaefer had called police because he had just killed a dog, and when an officer got there and tried to handcuff Schaefer, he resisted and pointed his gun at the officer, and that's when the officer fired, killing Schaefer.